The one and only multiverse presents a grand unified theory. Joseph von Fraunhofer, 1787 to 1826. Age 39. Spectra lines. Signatures of atomic vibrations. Emission, absorption spectrum. Web page and video are not AI generated. Your host, Richard E. Noer. Signatures of atoms. All atoms vibrate because of nucleus spin and orbiting electron energy. Their smallness enables them to vibrate very fast, which in turn creates oscillating dark matter particle wave energy. If the oscillating and spin energy reaches into the light spectrum, light waves are produced. High-energy vibrating atoms are now producing light. Because each atom has a specific nucleus proton, neutron complement, the spinning vibrations of the nucleus would be unique for each element. Hydrogen has a slower vibration than sodium and sodium slower than magnesium, etc. When the element's quantum ring fields are forced tighter together because of the compressing forces of dark energy, the fields slip past each other and displace electrons. The electrons in turn jump orbits, which causes a temporary anomaly in the atom's vibration. The atomic quantum stacked ring fields can move both ways, either tighter together, or further apart, depending on the environment. B. An increase in atomic compression of quantum fields creates emission lines. A decrease in atomic compression of these fields creates absorption lines. Absorption, emission lines are produced by electrons jumping orbits and expanding or compressing their mass. Now for the kicker, the individual colors in their spectral lines are not produced by photons, they are pressure, magnetic waves in the medium of dark matter. One more prediction of TM. It is not the electron that emits or absorbs photon energy when jumping orbits. This concept is discarded in the grand unified theory. This is because it stems from a misunderstanding of the atom's construction. It was assumed that the atomic nucleus was surrounded by empty space. It is not, it is surrounded by physical dark matter quantum fields. So the conclusion, it is the whole vibrating atomic system that gets interrupted with energy changes, and creates spectral lines, not the conceptual photons. Shifted spectral lines. A. Local light speed. There is a speed change between observed objects, but it is very, very tiny. B. Slowing light speed as you increase your distance from an observed object. C. Faster light speed as you decrease your distance between an observed object. This graphic represents the vibrating frequency of atomic elements and the established speed of light in our solar system. Present local light speed, 299,792,458 meters per second. Because light is a wave and is traveling in a medium, it is subject to the same laws that apply to radar and sound waves. Doppler shifting is quite complex because of movement, especially when the medium is increasing or decreasing in density. The vibrating atoms that produce a specific spectrum of colored light, in relativity to other atoms, in the same body, is a constant, but the spectrum itself is subject to the movement and density of the medium, or the observer. In other words, the light spectrum that we all see can be shifted through, or out of our sight. This works both ways, either more red shifted, slowing light speed, or blue shifted, faster light speed. B. The absorption and emission lines of the spectra are different for each element and don't change. This is because elements are unique and have a specific spinning proton-neutron count. All this means, we can now determine the local and distant speed of light using the absorption-emission lines as a standard, but don't forget to include that parts of the whole cosmos expand and contract differently. This is because light speed is not, and cannot be the same throughout the multiverse. Regional expansion created by a black star supernova type 0. Encyclopedia 7.0f has more information. The dark matter of space is composed of individual, spherical, primal matter at around 10 to the minus 30. This makes space appear to be a vacuum, but it is not. B. Light from distant galaxies has been traveling longer, therefore has a larger redshift, but you must also include the decreasing speed of light before you can calculate any relative distance. C. And finally, the expansion of a universal medium is caused by universal particles inflating, losing energy, and creating more mass in the extreme cold. This is a dark energy event and is not to be confused with anti-gravity. The inflation will continue until a point is reached where there is no more compressed spin energy created by the supernova event of a black star. Universal particles in outer parts of the universe, multiverse have lost their torus chaining, which in turn causes them to degrade into primal sand, space. No more polarized spatial force, and the distance between all remaining particle grains increases to its final DMI. There still is spatial force, but it is weak. This is because the tiny particles can still vibrate, move, and bump into each other, thus producing a small force, but space is bigger. This is because the individual primal matter grains are no longer grouped together and spinning. TM calls this new and old part of the universe, multiverse, primal space, or dark matter space. Don't forget, matter cannot be created or destroyed, but a spatial force can. Now for something very profound. If space were a true medium of nothing, or a void, or a vacuum, light waves are not possible, but if space is a medium of polarized dark matter particles, faster, slower light and wave speeds are a certainty. Light waves are no different than sound or magnetic ones. This is because at the very basic level they rely on tiny spinning particles, plus a spatial magnetic force to pass on their pushing power. Final analysis of space. The medium of space is a material and magnetic phenomena. Vast expanses of polarized space in a multiverse are called dark matter seas. On the other hand, the vast expanses of primal space has no universal particles, so it is non-polarized, and is called primal space. Both primal and dark matter space exists up to a point, then stops, then there is nothing, and there is no such thing as the vast expanse of nothing. Nothing has no height, width or depth, it is the end of existence. I know you're going to ask, what is at the end of space? TM. That is a nonsense question. It's like saying, what's at the end of existence? Your host, Richard E. Noer. Young me. Mini me. Email, noerastronomy@gmail.com. Here in a multiverse, our goal is to find the cosmic truth. No matter where, or how far it takes you, the universe truly does unify. If you get the basics right,